Word. All right. So this session is intended for using Canvas to distribute video that you, the teacher, have either created or that you want students to use. So I'm assuming that you know what you want the students to see. So I will start with this video that I created for Flipgrid. I uploaded it to YouTube. And I have the file itself on my computer. Either way, I can get that into Studio by this Add button in the upper right-hand corner of. I am sharing my screen with you. Yes. No, I should probably do that. I've been sharing my screen all night. I forgot that I need to reshare it between sessions. That would probably help, huh? It's been a long day for everyone, huh? Okay, so all right. Screen share now. You can see my studio. Yay! Okay, we're going to start that again. So I've got here a sample video that I created in my Flipgrid session, and I uploaded it to YouTube. I have the file itself on my computer, or I can drag and drop it into Studio, or I can come back and just grab my YouTube link, and we'll add it in here. Okay. So Addie McAdderson, okay. And then notice that it says my library up here. If I'm in a course, it'll have the course name for Studio. So I need to be in my library. Think of Studio as a separate entity outside of your normal Canvas courses. And from here, I can click my little snowman and I can create a quiz. And when I create that quiz, I can go ahead and put in my optional description. I'm not going to for time's sake. So it's going to import my video. And you see that little plus button? I can play my video. And whenever I'm ready for a question, I hit pause. And I hit the plus. And I've got several types of questions to choose from. And I'll only add one here just for time's sake. This is awesome. Clearly, the answer is true. And I can give feedback if I need to. One bit of awareness is students don't see the feedback on the questions until the end of the quiz. So if you have 5 questions, they won't see feedback on any of them until the very end. So after they've submitted the quiz. Okay. So I go through, I add all my questions, and when I'm done adding the questions, I click done. And what's kind of odd is my video in Studio doesn't really change. Like I hover over any of my others and I get this view, but the way that I know that I've got a video with a quiz is it has the little rocket ship icon in the corner. See that right there? So that means that I've got a quiz embedded in that particular piece of media. And so now, once I've got that quiz created, remember that's separate from my course. So now I can go find my course. And now that I've got that created, I can add that quiz wherever I want. One of the nice things about using Studio is you get analytics on your videos, and it'll tell you who has watched it and how much of your video they watched, which is really nice if you're looking for accountability. So in my Chapter 1 resources page that was completely blank, I think, Trent, you showed them this going through ARC and embedding here. Well, it's all fine and well if I just want to embed the video itself this way. So I select my sample video, but here's the trick. If I want that quiz, I need to go to Video Quiz Embed. And when I do that, that's going to embed just the video with my accountability questions in there. Now, this isn't going to go to my gradebook or anything right now. This just helps me to keep students engaged. So one of those high impact strategies, interactive video. This is interactive video, okay? If you want it to be graded automatically, which is one of the nice things about it, if you want it to be graded automatically, you would need to create an assignment and use the ARC external tool, and then it's the same after that. So here in the evening, it looks like Canvas is kind of slowing down a little bit here, but so I've got my vid there. I can click get started and it'll play the video and I can take the quiz. If I wanted it to be a graded assignment that goes automatically into my gradebook, then I would just use my external tool. So creating new assignment, external tool, I go to find, ARC, video quiz embed, same process, but I'm just using an assignment with the external tool. If I'm doing that, then what happens is students go to the quiz. The quiz not only gets graded automatically, it gets put into the Canvas gradebook automatically as well. So the other thing that I wanted to show you tonight was how to embed vids that don't involve Studio. The nice thing about Studio is it doesn't eat up your space in your course. But if you've just got a really good YouTube video that you want to embed and you don't want to go through the process of dealing with Studio, the easiest way to do this, and this is like honestly the easiest way that I know how to embed video. I'll go ahead and come back, and I'm just going to jump back into one of my empty pages here. So we'll go to chapter 8 resources because that one's empty too. There we go. So again, assuming that you've got your video uploaded to YouTube, I went and I copied the address. And when I paste it, I have to hit space or enter or do something right after, and it turns into a link. Let me show that to you again. See how it's not an active link? It doesn't turn into, my mouse pointer doesn't turn into a finger. Until I hit a space and it gets that underline, it's not actually considered a link. Canvas just treats it like text. But when I click save, it's just a link here, just a text link, but it opens up a little preview. So that works, and it works just fine. There's my video from YouTube. Simplest, easiest way to embed it.
Jim, quick question. Once you do that, can you look at analytics and
No.
Studio?
So when I say simplest and easiest, that also eliminates all of the extra analytics, all of the extra data and information that you would get with it. Especially if like I had a really good TED talk, or if I'm using like a Khan Academy video. If I'm doing something like that and I'm just pulling from YouTube, I don't have access to those resources unless I go through Studio. So this is like, I just need something on the screen for the kids to see and just need it bare bones. This is the bare bones way to drop it in. On some of my pages, though, I've got a bigger player embedded, and another more elegant way to put your videos in, again, this is assuming that you're working from like YouTube, is you come in and you go to your share link on the YouTube video itself, and you come get the embed code. And what this is your HTML code. It's the language that websites work in. When you go back to Canvas, You see this HTML bracket editor down here. Switch to that and paste in that code. When you switch back, it's going to be embedded in a much more web-friendly looking player. So it's a little bit bigger. You've got the preview and everything there. It just looks a little bit slicker. It's basically the same thing as what we just did, but when we do this, it looks a little bit more unified within the page. The last one that I wanted to show you was in Canvas. In your modules, we have our pages built in here, which you've got, like here I've got a discussion and a quiz, and there's content pages. You can force students out to the video through the modules. And a way to do that is to, in the module, click the plus like you're going to add any other item, like you would add any other item such as a quiz or whatever. Go to external URL, and we'll grab that link up here just like we did before. And we'll paste that here. Whoops. There we go. And I can name that. And personally, I prefer to have them load in a new tab. It just seems to keep navigation a little bit easier. And then I can put that wherever I want in the module. And when I do that, when students start here at the chapter 1 page, when they come to the bottom and they click next, it'll take them straight to my video. And that's a way to help if you're really concerned about the order in which students are accessing your materials, like you don't want them to see your lesson before a certain point in the module, you can put it in the module as an item that they need to progress through using the next, the next and previous buttons. Does that make sense? Okay. So, yep, that's it. That's all I've got for hosting video in Canvas without actually uploading it to your course itself. One reason we recommend against that is you do have a limit on how much storage space you have within any individual Canvas course. So if you're uploading multiple videos, especially if you have a little bit longer videos, that'll eat up that space in no time. I think you're limited to about 3 gigabytes, and 3 gigabytes is about 20 to 25 minutes worth of video total, depending on the size depending on the quality of the video. But if you use Studio or YouTube to host your videos and then you're able to link them, you're going to have a little bit more success there. One word of caution when you're using YouTube, notice that I have this statement underneath my video that says Watchable by k12.sd.us. If you go grab a video from YouTube that already exists, it may or may not be watchable by K-12. And on a district machine, students need to be logged in to their Google accounts because YouTube is owned by Google. They need to be logged into their Google accounts with their K-12 account. And the video has to be approved for K-12, otherwise they won't be able to watch it. Fortunately for you though, as a teacher, if you're logged in your K-12 and you come across a vid that you want your students to see, but it isn't approved, there's an approve button. So like I don't know, I've never seen this one. We're risking there. So like you can see this one has been approved already. And so if for some reason it's inappropriate, then I would click remove and they wouldn't be able to watch it. So if you're having students that are having trouble with viewing anything that's either uploaded or hosted in YouTube, then chances are they're not logged into their K-12 Google account, or the video itself in YouTube hasn't been approved for K-12. So that's all I've got for right now. Any questions, concerns?
If we don't use Google Classroom, do we have a Google account set up for us already?
Yes, you do. You have a G Suite account. If you go to accounts.google.com, and this link works for students too, by the way. If you have a personal Gmail account, you'll run into some issues with permissions. But if you go to accounts.google.com, it'll take you to whatever account you're currently logged into. So like this is my K-12. But if I was in under my personal, I would be able to sign out and then sign back in with my K-12 account. And again, that works for students as well.
Okay, thank you.
So now that I've signed out, it's mad at me and wants me to sign back in. Okay. All right, the last thing that I have for us tonight is a short debrief. And I need to go find that slide deck. Amanda, would you happen to have that one on hand?
Yep, I've got it open. Do you want me to run it and you can just tell me when to click?
That would be amazing.
Got it.
I had it open in a different tab, but I think I closed it out at some point. Outstanding. So you have had 4 total sessions this evening for our new to Rapid City area schools training. We would like you to spend a little bit of time reflecting. What are your next steps? Can you go ahead and hit the next button for me, please? Our learning intentions were for you to reflect on your experiences from the first month, particularly in terms of digital learning. And then we also ask that you spend some time improving your instructional practice with digital tools by participating in the breakout sessions, which you have been a wonderful group to work with this evening. Next, please. So with those in mind, we do have a couple of upcoming dates, October 19th or the 28th, working on SLO creation. Looks like that's going to be face-to-face in Jefferson. I'm sure Nicole will send you these dates as well. I can't remember if she had us, if we were supposed to do the reflection before all this or after, Amanda.
It's coming up.
It is coming up. Okay. All right. So yeah, next slide, please. All right. We'll probably want you to unshare and then reshare optimizing for video and sharing computer sound.
Is that good?
Yeah, I believe so. Let's give it a try.
I've got a public service announcement for every teacher, educator, and counselor out here in the world. You are American heroes. When this pandemic first took place, everybody was talking about how amazing and awesome and how essential doctors and nurses and firemen and police officers, first responders are, and I agree, but guess what? You are essential. You all are American heroes because you show up and you show out every single day for the life of these kids. And when this COVID-19 happened, you told yourself that you will not stop that from allowing you to give these kids the absolute best that they deserve. We're talking about American heroes like the first responders. We're talking about American heroes like Doctors Without Borders. They phenomenal whether they in Afghanistan or in Johns Hopkins University. They told themselves nothing will stop them from being successful. Nothing will stop them from being powerful. Nothing will stop them from bringing that aid. You all are American heroes like Representative John Lewis. He told himself nothing was going to stop him. 45 plus times arrested and put in jail. Skull fracture. He didn't sign up for that, but he signed up for justice. He signed up for equality. He signed up for love. He signed up for unity. And I know what some of you are thinking. You didn't sign up for virtual learning. You didn't sign up for mask in the class. I get it, but you did sign up for education, American hero. You did sign up to bring help and to bring comfort and to bring relief to these kids, American hero. You did sign up to be educators, to mold them and shape the hearts and minds of our future leaders, American hero. You did sign up to go above and beyond and reach these kids where they are, believing that they can do great things in the future, American hero. And I got no doubt what you can do and accomplish when you have your mindset and your perspective intact. So do me a favor, don't show the world what you can do. Show the world who you are, an American hero.
Thank you, Amanda. We thought that would be a nice pep talk, a way to end the evening in a positive note. We do have two questions for you. One, what is one thing you can revise for digital instruction in your class this week? Second part of that, what is one thing that you're going to revise in your digital instruction in the coming weeks? So something you can change or improve this week, and then something you can change or improve in future weeks. Take a moment to consider that, write it down. And since we are such a small group, since there's only a few of us here, what if I could ask if you would mind sharing one of your two responses, please?
Quit relying on other people's videos, make our own, and then make them better as we figure it out.
Yeah, that's a good one. Dan O'Neill here. I've made some YouTube videos. I never did YouTube before, but I mean, that's where we're at. I've made some instructional videos. I've learned to improve the quality of the videos through essentially the comments of my colleagues. And I've also learned a pretty powerful set of tools to get better access than I'm getting with YouTube. YouTube will count my views and that's it. But looking at what I learned from the studio and Canvas, that I can actually get more insight into my students' interactions, at least their machines' interactions with my videos. So that's good stuff right there.
To me, that's one of the most powerful pieces of Studio, is it does give you much more detailed analytics. Part of the reason that we get those analytics is because students are tied to usernames within that system. Whereas YouTube, you can get a little bit with, how long they viewed, things like that, but you need a lot of views for that to really have much impact. And Vinny says, start making his own videos in the future and check out Studio. Outstanding. All right, so based on your conversation points there, I think that kind of takes care of our number two. What are your next steps to make those things happen, such as recording your own material? What Like what needs to happen in order to make that a reality?
I think we need some more planning time, but I don't know where we're gonna get it.
Hmm.
Just to make mistakes and then figure out our equipment and everything.
Casey, thinking back to, I'm sorry, go ahead, Dan.
Oh, man, I was just gonna say, I need a webcam. You can see the quality of the video, what you're looking at in my face right now, that I get from the laptop, which they'd issue me.
Mhm.
Good news is, I got one of these swivels that somebody bought. So I'm learning to use it. And then the iPhone that I have, personal iPhone that I use to make educational videos for my kids, is very compatible with this and makes great video. But I'm thinking we need some more tools here. I just don't even know what I need yet. But I'm going to use what I got to make some videos. The kids are watching the videos in my class today. Girl sitting there, I'm standing up here. This is how weird it is. I'm sitting at my desk. She's sitting there at her desk watching me on a video. I've got the video playing on the screen, and some kids are watching the screen, and then some kids are working. I mean, it's like we're differentiating, and in fact, digitally. So, I mean, that there's a lot of success, there's a lot of upside to this, but then I'll be honest with you, being the big-hearted teacher, I'm caring about the kids that are just off the net or don't do.
All right, and Vinny added in the chat to integrate creation time into e-learning Fridays. Absolutely. So that's a big part of what those e-Fridays were for, but I realize that some of that time has been co-opted by a lot of other building level requirements and so on. So we understand that you're doing the best that you can with what you've got, and that's all we can ask of you. And honestly, I've been really impressed with the level of integration and advancement in digital technology that I've seen used in the classrooms over the last 2 months here. Trent, I see you nodding. Trent was there when I was learning to integrate my videos, and he saw that learning curve, and it was pretty brutal, wasn't it? but I really do think that for all the trouble that COVID is causing us, it's really promoting and pushing us to think about education in different ways and take advantage of the technology that we have available to us. And you guys are doing just absolutely wonderful stuff with that, and encourage you to keep going. And if you have any problems, reach out to your digital educators, reach out to your curriculum specialists team, especially with Canvas. Talk to me. More than happy to help you out. So with that, I think we're going to go ahead. Is there another slide in there, Amanda, or is that it? Yes. So we do have a survey. Would ask that you take the survey on your own time. You can work on it now, or you can work on it later. It's four or five questions, I believe. Just a simple Google form, tinyurl.com/RCAS October 6. That is case sensitive. So, Amanda, would you be able to grab that link and drop it in the chat?
It's in the chat now.
Outstanding. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. And as